YouTube, welcome back. I'm running out of adjustments on my clutch, so picked up a new one. So we're gonna be replacing this in this video, but you can buy these just like this for like 25 bucks. So that's the easiest thing to do. They come in as an assembly, right? All your clutch plates are in the back of here. What's inside of them? How many clutch plates is there? Is it cheaper to just buy the plates and change them out yourself? I've never broken into one, but we're going to today. Check it out. Let's just talk about how we're going to do this real quick. First thing I need to do is drain the oil. If you have a new gasket, you're probably going to need another gasket for the rise height cover. If you're careful, you might be able to salvage it, but it's good to have one as a spare just in case. You will need the clutch puller tool. It's like this. This is on the nut to hold your clutch in. And then this is optional. Impact screwdriver. There's some screws that are kind of a pain in the butt to get out. So definitely, like this is a Tusk one, you can get it from Motorsport. Throw the link below. I think it's like 20 bucks or something. There's two different size clutches you can buy as an assembly. There's a 17 tooth and an 18 tooth. So for this model, the Apollo 125 RFZ BGB X-18, this one is a 17 tooth clutch. So this piece engages in the clutch like this. Maybe like that. So there's 17 teeth here, but the gear on the inside is 18 tooth. So a lot of pictures online before you order them, they'll show measurements and teeth count and stuff. So 17 tooth for the clutch, 18 for the gear that goes in here. And we'll look at that a little bit more in depth when we get down tearing this thing apart. Let's get it though. Here's these 4 screws. Here is where I was talking about the impact screwdriver. Those are easy to strip out. This tool is worth its weight in gold. Just put your Phillips bit on there, and as you take a hammer, make sure it's nice and straight, and when you tap this, it forces it in and twists it real fast, kind of break it free. That. In here a little bit. There's some you gotta bend these tabs out here because you see this one's locking, it's bent into that nut, so we need to bend that back out. So these use the bigger side and it just fits around that nut. Fits in the grooves of that nut. Just take an impact, hold the clutch, and loosen it up. Alright, you want to pay attention when you're pulling these out. It's got a nut, and underneath that is a washer that is side specific. This washer says outside on it, so you want to make sure that that's right, it's facing the outside. And then the locking plate, just put that in there, clutch will slide out. Just like that. This is the gear I was telling you about. It comes with a new one, your new clutch. So this is 17 tooth, this gear is 18 tooth. So your 18 teeth have to fit on the inside of this gear here. Just like that. I'm gonna leave this one installed and I'll just reuse this one. But that's it. Here's our clutch plates. Let's throw them up on the bench. We'll tear this thing apart and see what's inside. So with springs, there's this locking, looks like this snap ring that goes in here. I'm guessing if I remove the snap ring, there's should be four springs in there. They should spring back at me. So be careful when you're doing this. This is my first time doing it. So springs are dangerous. See, it's already trying to spring out of there. Alright, so the first plate's a steel one. And then you got your fiber plate. Another steel one. Another fiber plate. Another steel one. Another fiber plate. This clutch is actually probably okay shape. I was just running out of adjustment, so I figured it needed replaced, but I guess we won't know until we open the new one up and see how thick these friction plates are. What else is in here? Alright, kind of like I guess this would be just one big basket, but. And then here's those four springs I was telling you about. And these four springs push on this, I'm guessing to keep it locked in. So it's interesting, I've never done this before. It's cool to see, but let's open the new one and we'll compare the thickness of the plates and I guess the quantity as well. So it looks like we have 3 fiber plates, 3 steel plates. I know you can just buy it, like this is a brand new one. This came from Amazon today, and you can just buy this as an assembly for 20 bucks. But if I can do it for $5 by just buying these plates, then why not, you know? First thing I notice is there's only 2 friction plates in here. This one has 3. But can you tell the difference of how thick these are? The new ones, the friction plates, compared to the old ones. That's interesting. I wonder why there's only 2 sets of plates instead of 3. I could definitely see it wearing out faster. Let's just measure one of these, one of the old ones. We're looking at 2.85 millimeters on a used wore down plate. It's about 3.45. So So quite a bit wore off. Again, I'll show you the difference. See how thin this one is? How thick this is. So this one was on its way out, getting wore down. And once you get past these little pads on here, you're gonna start metal on metal and tear some things up. So probably good that I am replacing it. I'm concerned about how there's only 2 friction plates instead of the 3, but all we can do is put it together and go ride it and see what happens. So this is what it looks like. Those big springs fit in here, and you got 4 other springs, 4 little springs down here. So those are your springs. This just fits on top of it. And then now we got to push these springs in those grooves once it's all pressed back in and together. So let me put it back together, and we'll I guess throw it on the bike and we'll see how it works. Alright, so if you're like me and like tearing shit apart that you never tore apart before, we have to make sure these teeth in here on these friction plates are lined up to accept this gear. So use the gear while you're doing this. Just drop the gear in there. Now we're going to press this in and get our snap ring set up in there. I'll just use a roll of tape, kind of big. Our snap ring on there. And we just got to overcome these springs. Just be careful, make sure everything's lining up, don't force nothing. Just make sure it's seated in the groove all the way around. And that's it. Next, we need to put these springs down in here. And the center of the spring goes in that little nipple right there. So I'll work on that. Just like that. It's ready to go on. Alright, I'm going to use the gear that was on. It was in my engine. So you just want to put this in here. Once that's in, you got your locking plate first, and the washer that says outside, make sure that's facing the outside. Take your tool and get it some ugga duggas. You want one of those locking plates to fall into one of those holes. This one does, so we'll go ahead and snap that in there. Okay, you can see this one here went right in the keyway of that. So next we'll take our cover. Careful with that spring. Make sure you tighten these down pretty good. I'm not going to use the impact on them because I don't want them to be a bitch to come back out. We need to get in here and make our initial adjustment on our clutch. So take a 10mm and back this jam nut off. Sorry about that. Just back it off and then run it in until it starts getting tight. Just when it starts pressing on those plates in there. Just as it starts tightening up. Tighten your jam nut. That's it. Just went on a test ride. Riding good. Just so you know, for future reference, the two fiber discs are apparently okay because it's running great. Had to make a slight adjustment at the handlebar, but no big deal. So hope you guys learned something. Take care. Catch you next time.